Hey guys, so today I thought I'd talk about Klairs, Dear Klairs skincare line, which is a brand with a lot of different products, a lot of different lines in there. And I have some clear favorites from Klairs and some clear products that I just really hate or dislike. Not hate so much, but anyway, let me start with my number one favorite Klairs product, the one I go through the most of. That is a Midnight Blue Calming Cream. Tube's about empty. Thankfully, I've got two backups because I'm a skincare junkie. But anyway, this is a product I think most people should give a try to. It's really wonderful, great at night, soothing, hydrating, and no fragrance. So, my favorite. I'll say probably my second favorite is their Calming Blue Midnight Drop. I really like this product. It contains some nice peptides in there. It is a very liquid texture. It's easy to fit into any routine, pretty affordable, and really quite wonderful. So those are two of my clear favorites. When it comes to Klairs, one of their biggest selling products is their Supple Preparation Facial Toner, which they have a scented version and unscented version, which I love. It is a great product. I've used a couple bottles of it. It's wonderful. You can't go wrong with it. They also have a couple other toners, which someone commented, they look like 2-liter pop bottles, which they do. They're gigantic. Both of these are wonderful, fragrance-free. This one is more hydrating. This one has a little bit of mild exfoliation in it. They're both wonderful, very affordable products. Can't go wrong with them. The other thing Klairs does well, they have a line called their Fundamental line, and they have, I think, 5 products in their Fundamental line. 2 of them are eye products. They're eye butter. I love. This stuff is great. You can use it over your entire eye area, even your eyelids, which mine tend to get dry. And they have their Fundamental Eye Awakening Gel, which is more meant to be used under the eye. It has a little bit of caffeine in there, helps with puffiness a bit. So these are both wonderful, fragrance-free. Their Fundamental line is amazing, no fragrance in it, and I believe all of them are free from denatured alcohol. Another one that a lot of people tend to love is their Fundamental Watery Drop Ampule, which is also great. It has a watery texture, but it is so hydrating. You know, some like watery products don't feel hydrating. This one is. It's got a little bit of oils in there. Really wonderful. Super affordable as well. Their Fundamental Face Mist is great. I love this stuff. I don't use it in my morning routine, but I'm more likely to use it in my evening routine. And then their Fundamental Water Gel Cream is also a total winner. You can't go wrong with it. This one is great if you have oily skin, dry skin. This one seems to be one that works pretty well universally for most skin types. And again, no fragrance, really nice texture, and pretty affordable. So one other product they recently reformulated was their Rich Moist Serum. They recently took it and made it pretty much fragrance-free, although the new version still has grapefruit extract, which grapefruit oil is much more irritating than grapefruit extract. It is really nice, wonderful that they reformulated that. They did that a lot with a lot of their products. Because originally their Midnight Blue Calming Cream had fragrance in it, and now they've made it fragrance-free. So their new version of this one is also worth checking out and really nice. They also did a little bit of a change with their Rich Moist Foaming Cleanser, but from what I can tell on the ingredient list, it still looks like it has fragrance in the new version, but I haven't tried the new version. And sometimes it can be hard to get updated ingredient lists. So when it comes to cleansers for Klairs, this is my least favorite of the cleansers. They have a great oil cleanser that is fragrance-free, their Fresh Gentle Black Cleanser, and their other cleanser, oil-based cleanser, has a little bit of fragrance in it. So this is the one I prefer to that. And then they also did a little bit of changes with their Gentle Black Facial Cleanser. This one is great. It's really nice. It doesn't leave skin feeling stripped. It does a pretty good job removing sunscreen, although it's still better used in a 2-step routine. And this one has no scent in it, and it is a really nice product for what you get, and it's pretty affordable, and the bottle is pretty large. So don't use the Klairs sunscreens. If you have any Klairs sunscreens, don't use them. They're more of a moisturizer than a sunscreen. So I won't go into that. It goes back to Sunscreen Armageddon from earlier this year, later last year. So I'll leave that aside. But I will say their Illuminating Supple Blemish Balm is really wonderful. I think they only have one color choice, so that's a bummer. I really wish more of these K-Beauty brands had more color selection, because most of them have either like one color or 2. So not much choice there, although this one works pretty well for me. It might not work well for everybody else. I'm going to see if there's a color on this selection bottle. I don't see any color. So I think this might be the only color, but It's really good. This one actually lived up to the SPF claims that it advertised, so we got that going for you. It's really nice, hydrating, medium coverage, not crazy coverage, but it's really one of the few makeup things Klairs has. So I like all those. The main thing I dislike about Klairs is their masks. Although I will say their sheet masks are great. Their masks like this, their vitamin E freshly juiced mask, and their black sugar facial polish. I don't love these much at all. I find these two polishes, they're just a bit too abrasive. Even when applied on wet skin, they just feel too abrasive for my liking, but maybe other people have better luck with it. I just find these a bit too abrasive for me to use unless my skin is really rough. I tend to use these more on my arms and elbows and hands than my face because it's just too rough. Their vitamin E freshly juiced mask, I wasn't a huge fan of it. It's fine. It has some fragrance in there. You rinse it off. It's not a big deal, but I didn't find anything to really get so excited about repurchasing that. And then last but not least, their vitamin C serum is okay. It has some fragrance in there. It has a low amount of vitamin C, 5%, which is fine for newbies. A lot of people love this one, so there's nothing wrong with that. Just for me, I prefer a little bit more on the vitamin C end and not so much citrus oils. So this one has a little bit of a fragrance. And you can tell this bottle's a little bit older. It's older, but anyway, I just didn't love this one, but it does work well for a lot of people. But if you have very sensitive skin and you want a vitamin C serum that is more friendly for sensitive skin, I'd probably recommend going with the Timeless 10%, but 5% in this one. It just has some fragrance in it, which I don't love, and especially for sensitive skin, you're probably better off going with something different. So anyway, those are my Klairs favorites. Do love their sheet masks. They're amazing. They're great. I try not to use sheet masks very often just because it's a lot of waste. They're kind of expensive, but their sheet masks are great. Their toners, all great. Their moisturizers, their fundamental line is great. Their cleansers, mostly good. Masks, kind of a bummer. So anyway, just thought I would kind of talk about Klairs today because I haven't talked about them for a while because they really, they've come out with some new products and I just haven't had a chance to review them. So I thought I'd mention them now and love the fact that they're reformulating things and reducing the amount of fragrance in them, which makes me like the brand more because I love a brand that listens to their people. Some brands now are starting to figure out that people aren't crazy about fragrance in their products. I know Tata Harper is a brand that was heavy in fragrance, and now they're kind of trying to release more sensitive, skin-friendly products. And it seems to be kind of a trend, and hopefully it continues because generally, for most people, fragrance just isn't great for their skin. Some people can handle without any issue. I'm jealous, but a lot of people can't, so it's nice to have options that everyone can use. So anyway, those are my Klairs favorites and least favorites. I'm curious of you guys if you have a favorite from Klairs. What is it? Leave a comment. Even if it's one of the ones I disliked, maybe it works good for you. So anyway, thank you guys so much, and I will see you more tomorrow. Okay, bye guys.